We're still on Vibes in 5, Ghana's only social media celeb talk show. And I'm still here in the recording booth, and I'm about to talk to one of our finest actors. You might want to call him the Pusher Man, but his real name is Adjetey Annan, one of Ghana's most respected actors. That one I should put it across so you know. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Nice one. Well, let's start talking about Keteke, and then we go into your career and what you've been up to lately. Keteke is a movie that, has not been released yet, but most people have heard of it and they are very anxious to see what's in it and what character you played in there. So can you take us through briefly what really you did in Keteke film?
Well, basically, I was one of the lead cast. Well, it's a very, very limited cast. Very, it's for most of the movie, it's just me and Lydia Forson. The latter parts of the movie, we have other people coming in, and basically I play the character called Boy, who together with the spouse Lydia are trying to reach a location in order to give birth, and they're faced with transport issue. You have to catch the train in the morning. If you miss it, then you have to wait till the evening, and even that you have to get to another point. And so what happens along the journey when they miss the train? The relationship, of course, the hormones are ringing in there in the lady, and also the man's ego in there, and so it looks at basically about their relationship, and also aspect of our infrastructure and how some of them have gone bad, and whether they succeed in delivering the baby or not, basically.
So how will you describe the experience on this set?
I think that it stands out to be the most difficult production I've ever engaged in. Most difficult in the sense that we're shooting. It's supposed to be a day scene, a 1 day scene, a 1 day story,
1 day
event kind of thing. And so, but of course, it took us more than a day to shoot, weeks. And the thing was that we had to be walking and running almost all the time under the scorching sun, and no time to rest, running along the railway lines, trying to catch up the train or trying to go to the next location, and it really took a toll on us. Physically, it was draining.
But when I spoke with Lydia Forson, she told me you guys got suntanned in the process. I mean, you became black all over.
Yeah, precisely. Not just that. Lydia is just confusing. Okay. Lydia is trying to distract me, but I will be distracted. I'm focused. Yeah, of course, not just that. We also had some insect bites because we had to shoot in...
insect bites?
Yes, we did. We did. Manguasi, in a very, very kind of forests, bushy area. They even had to do some clearing in order for us to be able to access, the area that we wanted to shoot. And so we're faced with all those nature challenges, yeah.
And how will you describe Peter as a director?
Well, Peter had the opportunity of experiencing his work when in my early days in NAFTI, where I did some lecturing. I'm doing some lecturing. He would also come to my class occasionally, and I happened to see one of his final year productions, and I was really, really intrigued, and I thought that, look, this is a guy who has so much potential. He reminded me of the days of the Shelley Frimpong Mansos when they were just coming out, and I thought that, look, if he ever is ready to work, he'll be one of the directors that I would want to work with, and so I know his work, and I know the quality and the meticulous nature that he attaches to his work, and so yeah.
Wow. So have you ever had a dent on your brand as an actor?
A dent. I mean, it depends on what angle you're looking from, but no, really. That which would make news, But I think that I'm my hardest critic. I critique myself. I'm the number one person who will critique myself, and so as far as I'm concerned, then there have been certain dents in as far as how living my character has been. I thought that some characters that I had played, I could have even pushed myself a little more, done some more research, and so that it makes the character more beefy, So yeah, I think that nothing for the newspapers, but
wow. So would you still consider Things We Do for Love as your major break, or there's been other productions that you think gave you a bigger break than Things We Do for Love?
Well, I think that, even before Things to Do for Love was engaged in TV theater, and I think there was one particular character I played called Ecomosis that really caught on. But I think that all in all, the Things to Do for Love series, especially the Pusher character, sort of put me up and that, gave me that platform to really, really announce myself onto the stage, and so pretty much I'll give it to Things to Do for Love. I'll still say that people were still had known me or knew me when I was doing stage, School of Performing Arts, National Theatre, etc. But I'll still give it to the Pusher character because it's been timeless, and so yeah, pretty much.
Still Things to Do for Love. How many awards have you won in all?
I think just about 8. I think, yeah.
But you've done countless number of productions, or the number of productions you've done as well.
I don't think that I've done anything beyond 20 productions.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that has given you one of the most respected actors in Ghana, or should I even say on the African continent. How does that make you feel?
Well, I kind of hesitate, when people say that, because I still have my targets, and for me, and I think that I'm still not there yet. There's so much work to be done. Every project that I am engaged in, I see there's a new opportunity for me to just move a step ahead, another level, another notch. And so we're still there's still room for improvement. And so
have you had any Hollywood productions yet?
Not yet. The closest I came to was a Hollywood director who we shot something called Slavery, that was meant for the Dutch educational sector, and was shot in here, partly here, part in Suriname and other parts of Europe. And so that was the closest I've gotten to. So pretty much. That's
the closest you've gotten. What's your projection for 2017 for you and your career?
Well, my projection basically has been, and it was with 2016 as well, to as much as possible make sure that I don't do too many productions, but I'm very still selective and also move from the level that I was last year to another level, and so much work going into character study, even before I begin learning lines and going on set. And I think that is key to also moving our industry to another level. And pretty much.
Do you think the state of our industry now, one can have acting as a full-time career here in Ghana and live just by it?
Well, I think that's very possible. I think that if people are doing it way back in Sec Room, for example. I mean, my Kumawood brothers are doing it, sisters. I also think that I think there's a level of how you position yourself as to what kind of training, what kind of skill you're adding to your talent, because I always say that, look, talent is good, but it's not enough. And so once you position yourself in that position, then your value even is something that is clear for everybody to see. And so you can survive on productions that you do in the year. I think it's very, very possible, but it all depends on how you position yourself.
So position is very important. Apart from acting, that has given you this height in your field of work, what else has contributed to your success?
Well, I think that there are bits and pieces of and I can still relate to people who are related to the industry, the works of other people, Shirley, Ivan Kwashigan, a few directors out there, and also the fact that there's always been I want to see this as not just an income generating kind of thing, but more like me trying to reach out to impact society, to impact individuals out there with what I do, that I'm sending messages out there through the art that I'm involved in. And so I think that mindset has also enabled me to consistently be in this field and also improve on myself.
All right, your final words to people who would want to be like you.
Well, I always say that, look, don't be like me, be more than me. I mean, look out for my weaknesses, look out for and then improve on my strengths. And I think that when we get to a point where we're just like other people, then I think that we're being stagnant. I think that there's growth when we are better than other people. And so be better than me, study me, look at my weaknesses, and let them be your strengths. And I think that will move this industry to greater.
What's your weakness? Just one.
My weakness is that I think one of my weaknesses. I think I have a number of weaknesses. One of them is, being able to say no. Sometimes to producers, sometimes I think that when they come up with the productions that I find, I think that they have shortfalls. It's not that deep. They have to improve it. I kind of ignore it sometimes and just just go for it. And I think that I'd want to be very.
Has that cost you?
Well, it did. A few productions, about 2 in my past that I pray they don't even come out. That's not fair to the producer, but I mean, but of course I've learned from that, and that's been I've improved on that since then, and so yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Adjetey Annan, for being a part of this version of Vibes in 5 on there's Ghana's only social media celeb talk show. My name is Arnold, Elavanyo, and I've been having a chat with Adjetey Annan, and we talked about Keteke movie and himself as a brand. Well, next week will be another time for us to have Vibes in 5 again. But till then, don't forget the name